Hey guys, how's everyone doing? Let's just wait for 1 second to see if we can sort out the technical aspects. I have someone really special to introduce you to. So let's see if she can jump on here. All right, I think we're on. So, hey guys, I'm Dahlia, helping young professionals with their international careers. Hey, Amy!
Hello! It's
There
fun.
you are!
I've, for whatever reason, the computer isn't working, so I'm talking to you on my phone. So I'm sorry if the screen shakes a little bit.
No problem, no problem. So yeah, let's just tell everyone what we're doing here. So I'm Dahlia. I help young professionals with international careers. And what we're doing right now is I want to bring someone really, really special on. This is Amy. And the reason that I wanted to bring her on here is because she's really awesome. For one thing, she's just a really cool person, so I'm really happy to introduce you to her. But then the other reason is that she struggled in the past with very similar things to a lot of you. So I hope you can see that how she was able to get out of her rut, because I think it will be really, really helpful to you guys as well. So yeah, so maybe I'll just give a really brief overview about who Amy is, and then she can talk more in detail about where she came from and then where she's going. So Amy is a freelance writer. So when we started working together, she was a new grad, kind of in that trap of needing experience to get experience. And so she has a very cool writing niche, actually, because she does a lot of food and beverage kind of writing, right? This is sort of her passion, food and beverage, and specifically writing about beer.
Yep, writing about
So
beer.
how cool would it be, right, if we could get jobs writing about something like beer, or, you know, these kinds of passion projects that a lot of people have. So Amy was actually able to start writing about beer, which is really cool, because a lot of you, I know, have sort of passions that you think that are not really possible to make any kind of income off of. And so you go for something different that you think won't be as fun, but you think will be more profitable. But Amy really proves that there is a way to make an income off something that you love and that's fun and that you're passionate about. So, Amy, why don't you tell us a bit about yourself? Tell us where you live and then where you were when you started the program. What kind of a rut were you in?
So I live in Buffalo, New York, which is all the way to the west of New York State. It's really far away from New York City, and it's almost in Canada. I'm actually much closer to Toronto than I am to New York City. It is, I have to apologize, it is record-breaking hot right now. And I feel a little bit disheveled because it's nighttime right now. So I've gone through a very long and productive day. So I had just gotten home from London, where I was training to be an international journalist. I studied at City University London in their international journalism program. I got my master's degree, super excited. I came home, and then I started substitute teaching. And I really meant substitute teaching as to be just like a little foothold type of thing while I got into a freelance journalism career. But it wasn't that hard, or that wasn't that easy to get a freelance journalism career going. I love Buffalo a lot. It's a great little city. I love my family who's here, and I want to have kind of a big career in a small city. So I knew I had to freelance, but I didn't know how. And it was really terrible because, like, I would feel like, well, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm not a great writer. Every now and then something would come along and I would write for the city newspaper, or I would write for craftbeer.com, but I was like, how am I going to make a living off beer writing? Because making a living off journalistic writing in general can seem really hard when you don't know what to do. So I found Dahlia, and we had our career roadmap session, and I decided I wanted to work with her. And I felt at the time like I had no clue what I was doing, and I needed a plan. And I feel like I had certain like technical skills that I could like play off of, but I really needed help figuring out how to do that. And so I really think that you, Dahlia, helped me kind of make a plan. But then one of like the coolest and hopefully best decisions that I have made in my career so far is when you suggested, maybe content marketing. And I learned that all of these things about journalism that I love, the storytelling, the talking to people, the writing about beer and going to breweries for a living, I could do viably, and perhaps even more viably, if I kind of made like a little bit of a shift towards content marketing. And I really, really liked that. And so far, I really love it.
And it doesn't mean that you cannot do journalism writing, right?
Right.
But it kind of adds something extra to your portfolio.
Yeah. So I kind of have both sides of this. So whenever there's like a good story for me to pitch, I'll still write for craftbeer.com, I'll still write for the Buffalo News. But on the other hand, I'm having a lot of fun getting to know. I have 2 clients that are small breweries, and kind of getting to know them and figuring out what their stories are, what makes them cool, and then kind of bragging about them to the public on their blogs and newsletters.
Yeah, so it's like a job that you're actually excited to be doing.
Oh yeah, definitely. Doing it, like the actual writing, I've so many times where I'm like getting in the zone and I don't even realize if time is going by because I'm just so focused on what I'm doing, and I love that feeling. And then also the research is pretty good too.
That's so amazing. And I'm wondering, because I know it's not an easy thing, right, to sign up to the program and commit to that. And there are a lot of unknowns in terms of how exactly is this going to work? Will it work for me? I know is a question a lot of people have. So how did you manage to kind of cross that bridge of fear and make the decision that, yes, I'm going to get help with this, and yes, I'm going to commit to doing this program?
I kind of knew that if I didn't do something, then I wouldn't do anything. Like if I didn't make a decision and make a change and find someone who could help me figure out how to do what I want to do, that I wasn't going to be able to do what I want to do. I didn't know how to do it. I knew that it was possible. I see other people doing it, but I personally didn't know how to do it. So I knew that I could either, stay in teaching, which I do like, and there's nothing wrong with teaching, but I could either stay kind of doing what was comfortable for me and what was fine and I liked, or I could make a change, make a decision, and go towards my dream job. And so it was kind of that knowledge that I wanted the dream. Like I didn't want good, I wanted great. So as good as a career in teaching, if someone wants to be a teacher, I don't want to offend you, it's great. I still I definitely appreciate it and I love that, but for me personally, I've always wanted to be a writer, so it's kind of like a dream job. And I sort of saw that there was a plan laid out and there were steps that I could follow, and I knew I would have to put in the work, and I knew there would be some figuring out to do. But it's just so much more helpful when there's someone there that you can like Marco Polo and be like, oh my goodness, I have no idea what's going on, please help me. And she's like, no, it's okay. These are the things that you have to do. Here are questions you should ask and think about. And then you could be like, oh, you're right. It is okay. I can just do these things.
So for those of you who don't know, Marco Polo is this video chat app which lets you, as you're going through the process, you can just reach out anytime via video chat. And then it's just like you have, 24-hour access to mentorship whenever you need it. And I think for Amy and for a lot of people, it really helps you to stay on track. So you don't get stuck wondering what to do, or just with, questions on your mind, you can reach out right away and get anything you want clarified, so that every single day you can continue that momentum towards your goal and you don't waste any days kind of with, starting to go into the wrong direction.
Yeah, and it's especially...
And the other thing...
Oh, I feel like we're about to say the same thing.
Go ahead.
I love that you can replay things, and I feel like that maybe was what you were going to say. So when she gives you advice and you think, oh, that's really good, I should remember that, when you forget that because you have a billion other things on your mind, you could go back and replay it, and then you'll remember it.
Yeah, that's true. I hadn't thought of that. Yeah. So you can actually replay all of your coaching afterwards, and then, you can stay on track like that as well when you forget things. So the other thing you've said that is really interesting, because so many people are struggling with the exact same thing, is what we've been talking about in terms of your going for your plan A. So going for what you really want versus your plan B's and C's and D's, all the different plans that have a lot of merit to them. Like you were saying, when we did our first call together, you were teaching, and it's not like you hated your job. You said, I do love teaching. I love the kids. But at the end of the day, you knew that wasn't your main goal. And then you had other goals, and you were discussing, even doing some financial writing, and you were actually not sure if you wanted to get a staff job. That was also on the table. So you had a lot of different ideas. Like, it was not so clear to you in the beginning that you wanted to be a beer writer, right?
Correct. I feel like looking at like hindsight 2020, looking back now, I'm like, oh yeah, this is exactly what it was. But there were definitely like, because I remember sending you my resume or my cover letter for staff jobs and sort of remote jobs and positions that I could do, so I could be in Buffalo but kind of have that like bigger type of job. And I don't know, it was just kind of one of those things where it seemed like a really good idea at the time, and I was like, oh, maybe this is what I want, maybe I'll try it. And there were even some interviews that I had that went pretty well, and then in the end I kind of discovered.
And you got a job offer, right?
I got
turned down.
And I turned it down because it was not what I wanted. It's almost like when you get something, that's kind of how you realize if that's really what you wanted or if you didn't want that. So I definitely through the whole process kind of discovered that this is where I wanted to go for real.
And what's so interesting is that, when we did our first call, you were saying, I need a job. Like, I really need a job. I just finished my teaching. I need income. I need a job. But then during the process, you ended up turning down jobs because you were like, nope, that's not my ideal. And you had the confidence that you knew you could get better. And you were no longer in that sort of desperation mode, right? Because you had your value developed and you understood how to sell yourself, and you realized you didn't have to take something that was just subpar.
Yeah. Before we started talking, there were definitely times where I was, online, super worried, looking for something, looking for anything, and kind of had to step back and tell myself that my desperation was showing. And I like, that is not a good way to get what you want at all, when you're kind of just like, oh my God, I just need it. I need it so bad. I need something. Like, the better way is being a little bit more level-headed, a little bit more confident. I think, I don't know, you kind of helped me. You showed me how to be confident about it, and you helped me figure out like what I was worth and what I should look for, and like, in order to hit my goals, these are things that I needed to do. And all of that just really helped, like, figuring things out, not only what I wanted to do, but how I wanted to do it and how much I wanted to get paid for it and all of those things.
Because it starts affecting your confidence levels, right? When you're always wondering if you're going to be able to get something, and the longer your job hunt lasts, the longer you're wondering, am I supposed to just settle for the teaching, or settle for something else, or am I supposed to be going for what I really want?
Yeah, it was definitely, I think I feel so confident that it's like hard to like put myself back in the shoes of before where I was, but I definitely was not.
Yeah.
I don't want to say like super upset, but I was just like, I was not great. I was worried.
You were not your best self.
I was not my best self. I was worried a lot. I was very stressed out, and starting an action plan helped me gain that confidence, because as I started the action plan, I learned that people did want to hear from me, and that I did have something really good to offer, and that, kind of learning how to talk to people about what I knew I could do really helped to give me the confidence to be able to actually do what I know I can do.
This is so amazing because you're such a positive person, right? But when you don't know how to show your value and you're not clear on where you're going and if you're doing the right thing, it starts affecting how you're feeling as a person, right? And then it starts affecting like your sense of identity and how you're showing up and everything.
Oh yeah. And then as you kind of learn how to learn your value and learn how to communicate your value, which is huge because sometimes you know that you're awesome, but you need to tell everybody else that you're also awesome, effectively.
Yeah, yeah,
Everybody else that you're
yeah, exactly.
awesome.
Yeah. There's knowing that you're awesome, which is the first step, and then there's also communicating that to other people, which is a whole other thing, right?
And when you're able to do that, it definitely is a mood booster. So.
Okay, so what happened like after we started working together? What were your biggest breakthroughs?
Oh my goodness, there were a lot. I think honestly, having someone hold me accountable to send my first email, or someone who could look over my LinkedIn after I completely reformatted it. I had a friend, who, well, I guess a colleague, write a referral for my LinkedIn. And when I had asked her, she like looked at my LinkedIn and then, you know, was writing the referral. And then when she actually sent it over, I had completely redone it, as per one of the missions. And I personally am very, very happy with how it turned out. I think it turned out really well. But she had later commented to me, she was like, wow, like you really stepped up your game. And it's cool when other people notice too.
Yeah, like you feel the changes, but then when other people start noticing, you're going, okay, this is real.
Exactly. Actually, I have a pretty cool story about it. So I do work as a beer writer and food and beverage. So I eat for a living a lot, and I drink for a living a lot too, because you have to know what you're writing about. Also, it's fun. So I'm hanging out at a dinner event that I'm working at, and it's like a cocktail dinner pairing. So everybody's eating and they're having a couple drinks and we're talking and chatting. And there's a girl that I've known throughout college and beyond, and we were kind of just chit chatting about work and what we were doing. And she's also a writer, a content writer, and she's got a staff job. And was we were talking, and she was a little bit tipsy. So so I knew it was genuine when she told me that I just seemed so much more confident and put together, and that she really admired kind of the way I was driven and going towards my goals and making things happen, and not just kind of absently daydreaming about it. But she could tell that I was put together and I knew what I was doing, and I was confident in getting the things that I wanted to get. And that was like one of the coolest things ever, was having that peer recognize that there was a change in me.
That's so amazing. And then now you see you're already inspiring other people as well, going, wow, what happened to Amy? She's so put together now. She's so confident. And they're also wanting to, get inspired by that. Maybe, hopefully, other people around you are also getting more inspired to go for their plan A's, right?
Yeah.
Because so many people are stuck going for, or stuck doing something that isn't what they really want to be doing, or where they don't feel like they're really making an impact. And they just think, well, I guess that's as good as it gets. I guess that's what I should just keep doing.
Yeah, I don't think I told you this yet, but I actually have been kind of actively telling people, firstly, to kind of go for it, and then secondly, to find someone to help them. In kind of my boyfriend is going to college right now for economics, and he doesn't like it at all. He hates it. And I actually have been working with him and encouraging him to switch into nutrition to become a registered dietitian, which he is like super excited about. And he just got accepted to the school, and I'm like, good, find your goal, do what you want to do, find someone to help you do it, and you'll do great. So
wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, it's amazing. Like, we don't even realize the impact that our happiness has on other people. So I think that, you know, the more you are doing what you want to be doing and you're making an impact and you're just happy and inspired, that has such a big impact on other people that you can't even imagine. And until you're in that place of being inspired and doing what you want to be doing, you don't even realize how much you can be helping other people just by being happy, you know, and just by being that inspiration. And the more that you're that person who's on, you know, on the other side of the coin, who's just not 100% happy, you know, you might still be smiling, you might still be very pleasant with everyone, but not inspired and not really living your best life, that's, you're also kind of not impacting others in the way that you could in terms of being that light, being that happiness, being that inspiration. So yeah,
it feels really,
it's something that you don't even realize until you get to that new place where you're like, wow, I was not as great to be around. I wasn't helping people as much as I am now.
yeah, it feels really good. I mean, my friends will tell me like their dream jobs or, you know, things that they want to do, and it's really great to say like, go for it, you can do it. I know you can do it. I did it, so you can do it.
Yeah. And not just being one of those people who's like, yeah, go for it, but really you have all these doubts that, will you really do it? Is that even feasible?
Yeah, I've been like, okay, make a plan, you know, figure out your goals, you know, get someone in the field that you want to be in, talk to them, find someone who's done what you want to do, and, you know, get them to help you because they've been there already. It's so much easier with
and then you can just do it.
you. It really is so much easier with someone to help you.
Yeah. And this is something I see a lot where people are very willing to just try. So what happens is they go through these different kind of patterns of existence where one day they'll feel motivated and they're like, yeah, I'm going for my goal. And then they'll try, but then of course they don't have a plan or they don't know exactly how to do things. So they're trying very hard, but then that motivation can't last forever. Plus you need to eventually get some kind of a job. So all that time you're spending not doing what you really want to be doing, not taking this concerted action towards your plan A. And yeah, and that's, I guess that's how people go for years and years having a goal in mind, but not actually making that goal happen, right?
Yeah.
They might still talk about the goal. They might say, yeah, but I'm planning on this, I'm planning on that, but you can go for a very long time without actually getting there.
Definitely.
So tell me more about what is next for you. So your big vision of the kind of writer you're going to be and the niche that you're carving out for yourself right now.
Yeah, so there's kind of a few facets to that. So I'm really focused on beer. It's one of those things where I've had friends and family who have been like, oh, like, why don't you try, you know, general food writing, or, you know, my mom is really big on don't back yourself into a corner. But in all of the research that I've done and kind of knowing that my passion and expertise is kind of starting to really revolve around craft beer, I feel pretty happy and confident that I'm going to be able to find the clients and find the work that is in that, because, you know, now I kind of know how to find these people and how to get in touch with them. I know they're out there. So if people ever kind of are like, oh, I don't, you know, like, leave a little back door open for you just in case you want to scoot out, I kind of know that they don't know how to get the clients or how to talk to people or how to do that, and it's fine because I do know, and that's what I'm gonna do. So I have a couple clients right now. I've landed my first I guess big client when I was doing this, when I was reaching out to people. And
like that, your first big client?
Yeah, my first big client.
Yeah.
And so I have that, and I have some kind of the one that I have is very steady, and then I have a couple that are not as steady but still something good to do. So I'm going to continue to, you know, start emailing a little bit more, because I do have to say that in the past couple of weeks I've lagged off, and it's definitely one of those, the more work you put in, the more you get out of it types of things. So
yeah, I mean, life happened, right? I know you had a lot of issues that came up, and I think it's just something that's good to highlight, because life happens to everyone, and everyone, there's always stuff happening, and some things are more serious or more stressful than others, but the point is that everyone has all of this crazy stuff happening to them, like relatives getting sick, someone they have to take care of, even themselves getting sick. I mean, there's so they have to move houses, like so much stuff. But if you're like Amy and you're just resourceful and decisive and you're committed about it, you don't let that stuff stop you. I mean, you still have to handle it, of course, but you didn't let those things stop you. And I think that is, a big key to your success. Like, you didn't say, oh, I'm just going to do this later. There's a lot happening right now, or I need to do this, I need to do that. You kept moving forward. You kept reaching out to me. And we just kept working through what we needed to work through. And that's how you got to where you wanted to go. Because when people say there's too much happening right now, there's always going to be something happening right now. Like, I don't think I've ever worked with anyone who didn't have anything going on in their life. Like, they had a perfect 8 weeks of, just free for the program, right? And life is like that. There's always something, or you think it's going to be free, and then some disaster is going to happen. Disaster will strike, something will happen, and you just have to keep being committed towards your goal and follow through. Otherwise, you'll never get there.
Yeah, life definitely did happen this past month. But you're right.
I know.
It's all about getting back up and getting to it. And even when I was in crazy times, I always made sure that I carved out at least a couple of hours, just like some time that I kept going, that it wasn't like a cold stop and had to pick up when everything kept piling up. It was just kind of keeping the momentum and not stopping. And that's what I'm gonna, keep doing now. I feel very confident that I can do it on my own, and then I also am, and it's good to know that like there's like further programs that if I feel like, okay, no, I've hit a wall and I need some help, then there are ways that I can, get back in touch with you with like the master's program and work on that a little bit more to kind of get me bumped up past that next level.
Yeah, so you can keep working on your client base, and then in the future, when you're really ready to up level your life and your salary and the work that you're doing, we'll get back in touch and we'll see how we're going to do that.
Yeah, and yeah, definitely. And I mean, it's good to know. Like, I already have some leads, some that I haven't even had a chance to tell you about. But so it's nice that there is more. There was no dead stop. As long as there was momentum on my side, there's momentum on things coming in. So
I'm so excited.
Me too.
This is amazing. So tell me more about, so you're getting more and more clients under your belt. You're going to be doing writing for them in the context of beer and beer culture and everything to do with that. And you mentioned that you're seeing a lot. You went from thinking, okay, the opportunities out there are too small, there are no opportunities, to being like, wow, there are all these people I can reach out to and they need me, and you're working with them. And so what is your what's going to happen now in terms of your personal goals?
My personal goals, like outside of work, or like my personal goals while I'm working?
So all of this stuff, like as you build your reputation, as you build your client base, how is that going to change your life?
Oh my goodness. So I'm living at home right now. And by at home, I know every house is a home, but I'm living with my parents right now. And it's been like an amazing kind of safety net for me to fall back on. And I love my family and I love being around my family, but I'm ready for my own space. I've got like a nice little home office area set up and everything, but I'm ready to have my own home with my own office. So when I'm like in a little bit of a steadier place, I'm moving out. There's a couple places in Buffalo that I'd really love to move to, and moving out will also mean moving in with my boyfriend. So I'm very excited about that because that's just like a really awesome next step. Because I lived in London and in Ireland for a little while, I really excited that I'm going to have the money to go back there and see my friends and show my boyfriend, who's never been to London or anywhere in Ireland, all of the places that I used to live and hang out in, and all of the people who I think are totally awesome who are still there.
This is great. So you're gonna, you know where you want to live. I know you already have like your neighborhood picked out, right? In Buffalo, where you want to live.
Yep.
You're gonna move in with your boyfriend, which is gonna be really good for your relationship, and then you'll have enough money to be able to travel. And since you're freelancing and you found a way to work on a pretty flexible kind of schedule, you'll be able to easily carve out that time and have that flexibility in terms of location, right? That you'll be able to do those travels.
Yeah.
So this is all really good stuff.
I'm very excited about all of the prospects. It's a cool place to be. Just kind of in life, it's a cool place to be, where it's like you finally know that what you wanted isn't like a pipe dream. It's something that you can actually achieve. And not only is it something that you can actually achieve, but I think after completing the program, it's something that I'm actually starting to achieve. So
like you're actually seeing those results come in. It's not just, okay, I'm going for it. It's happening right now.
It's so exciting. It's like, it's a really cool place to be. Sorry, I had to plug my phone.
This is amazing. Yeah, no problem. So what's your advice to someone who is still stuck where you used to be, who's still not feeling so inspired about the work that they're doing, or they're in job hunting mode, and they're in that kind of a rut? What would you advise them?
Firstly, I would say, if you think that you can't do whatever it is you want to do, there is someone in the world currently doing that thing. Why not you? Why can't you do it as well? And the answer is, there is no reason why. The only thing that's holding you back is indecisiveness. The best thing to do is say that you can do it. Know that you can do it. If you're in a group like this, you know it's possible. So decide to do it, and then just do it. Go for it, because that's the only way to get you towards where you want to be, is starting to move in that direction.
Is to decide, right? So I think that you have overcome a lot of things which have gotten to where you are right now. So just for people to understand, like some of the different steps that Amy's been through, which I think have gotten her to this place of confidence and being sure about what she wants. Because I know some people say, well, I don't even know what I want to do, right? But you were the same, right? Even though now you're all focused and you know what your game plan is and you know your plan A, you did not start out there. So there were a couple of things. Number one was figuring out what that plan A actually was. So that took some work to find that out. With that process. And then number two was figuring out your value, which is why you're so confident right now, because you understand what you have to offer. And then three, communicating that. That's how you were starting to get your results, signing up clients, that they understood what you had to offer and they wanted to actually work with you. And then also with the networking, so how to get those clients, how to get people to know who you are, and have that contact, that network base. And the other thing you've created, which is also contributing a lot to your confidence levels, is that you've created kind of almost like a career nest. So you have a really good nest set up where you have your cover letter, your CV, all of that, your online presence, all of that is now in really, really good shape. So even though now you know your plan A and that's what you're working towards, even if anything were to change in the future, like you basically, you're able to get a staff job as well. You already got the offers in, so that's always an option. You have all your materials in order in case you ever wanted to do that. Like you have so many pieces in place now, which has created this nest for you where you're set. And that's also why you're able to go for your plan A, because everyone has different kind of levels of risk taking, right? It's not like you have to take a huge risk on your plan A either. If you have this nest set up, you can have all that support that you need to go for what you want.
Yeah, kind of knowing like the job offer and everything, knowing that I can go out and get a job. I can't say like, no, whenever I want I can go out and get a job. I feel like I'm pretty confident that I can be able to do that. Not being cocky, but I know that there are positions. Knowing that I can, doesn't mean that I feel like I have to or I should, but it almost pushes me more towards going for the plan A, if that makes sense. It's like, okay, so I can't do that if I ever wanted to, but I really want to do this other thing. I'm really going to go for it.
Because you know you don't have to take anything out of desperation. You know that option is always there.
Yes.
Yeah. Great. So is there anything else you want to add? Anything else you want to tell people?
I don't know. I think I got it all in. It's really cool to be happy about what you're doing. It is really cool and really fun. Sometimes I have a little brother, and sometimes I'll be, getting ready to go to whatever event that I have to go to, and he'll be like, "What are you doing?" I'll be like, "Oh, I'm going out." And he'll be like looking at me like, "Again?" And I was like, "It's work." And he just like gives me this look like, "You're ridiculous." And I'm like, do what you love, and you'll never work a day in your life. And
yeah, it's so funny because you hear these quotes, and it almost sounds cliche. Do what you love and you're not going to have to work, and go for your dreams, right? But when you actually start doing it, you're going, oh wow, the quotes were true. It can actually happen.
There's a reason why they become so widely spread, and then you get to like grin like an idiot all the time while you're having whatever you're doing.
No, I'm so happy for you, and I'm so happy that you've really transformed your base level of existence from being, you've always been positive, but you're just at a different level now. And I think that's become obvious to you, and it's becoming obvious to everyone around you, like your family and even your friends telling you, Amy, you're different now, and you're inspiring us. You're confident, and you're on top of things, and I think that is such an amazing thing. And when you're operating at that level, it's like the sky is the limit in terms of where you can go from here on out.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's a very cool place to be. It's one of those times where you have to step back and like take a breath and just be happy about it, and just be grateful for it, and almost revel in it before you like get back in and do the next.
Yeah, realize everything you've accomplished so far. And that's also why it's great here that we're talking here, so we can really celebrate everything that you've done, everything that you've accomplished, and then it's okay, now it's go time. What's the next step? What are my next clients going to be? What are my next projects? How exactly am I going to earn enough and consistently that I'm going to move out, and I'm going to move into the apartment that I want, and then I'm going to plan those trips, and all of this is coming very, very soon for you. So
yeah,
this is amazing.
So
I want to say thank you, because you've been so great to work with and so positive. And like we were mentioning before, you had a lot of stuff going on, but you still kept up with the program. You still kept reaching out. You still kept moving forward, and you stayed committed the whole way through. So this is really amazing, and it's been, such a joy. Like, I was always so happy to see your face on Marco Polo. So it's been such a joy to work with you, and you've also inspired me, because like we were saying before, the more you're inspired, the more you inspire others. So it's been, it's been such an inspiration to me as well, to see your progression and see you actually achieving the things that you set out to achieve. So
thank you for helping me figure out my life and get everything together, plan it out so I can do it. It's
this has been great.
Yeah, it has been.
So I'll let you go and finish enjoying your evening. And here it's daytime already, so I'm gonna go talk to some more ambitious professionals. But really looking forward. Maybe we'll touch base again in maybe a couple of months or something like that, to see what your progression is and how many new clients you have and how has your life changed. I think that would be really fun as well. So I will be watching you, and I'm really excited to see where you go from here on out. And if anyone who's watching this has questions, you can always put them in the comments. I'm sure I'll be able to answer them. Maybe, I know some of you might be wondering, like, oh, is my position the same as hers, or is it different? So you can always comment what your situation is and any other questions that you have.
Yeah, thanks so much for talking to me. It's been a fun half hour, however long we've been talking. It always goes so
How long has it been? Wow, almost an hour.
Well, it's been a fun
Great.
hour.
Yeah, this has been great. So yeah, Amy, have a good evening, and we'll be in touch. And thanks for coming on here and sharing your story with everyone. And yeah, so happy to have worked with you and to be speaking with someone who's so smiley and who's such an inspiration like you.
Thank you, and have a wonderful day. Enjoy it.
You.
Bye.
Bye.